Hello and welcome back to our super mega little spiffy mega massive YouTube channel, the most littlest YouTube channel in all the world with the most famous YouTubers in all the world, the first YouTube gazillionaires. And what's recently been pointed out to me by Jane, who happens to be very clever, I am irreverent to YouTube. And I didn't even know that. Look it up, massive word. You may remember back in January, we made a vlog about our addition of an inverter to our electrical system. And at that time, we were also planning the addition of a second or an extra DC to DC charger. Well, this is the vlog about that extra DC to DC charger. Now, back in the day, I asked everyone to collaborate with me and no one wanted to. So I had to basically collaborate with the most famous gazillionaire on YouTube. Well, this time, even he don't want to collaborate with me. So I've had to bring in Buddy, the expert auto electrician. So he's going to work with me this time because actually he knows more about this stuff than Jane.
Uh-oh. That's so rude. I shall slap him later.
So if, like Jane, you know nothing and are not bothered about electrical stuff, now would be the time to go and make a brew or do some ironing.
No! God, please, no!
I'm really sorry. I've obviously been a mahoganyist again and presumed that people with ovaries don't like electrical and technical. And I know that that's not true.
Thank you. That will suffice.
Okay, now everyone's friends again. I shall put my glasses on because they make me look cleverer and we'll crack on. We've extensively upgraded the van's electrical system over the last couple of years. The headlines are more solar, more battery, Victron chargers and an inverter. But it's been well documented, so if you go to our back catalogue of videos, you'll be able to find all the information you need. All those upgrades enable us to be off-grid for longer. It means we can be where we want to be for as long as we want to be, and we're not being dictated to by an electric hookup cable. Gives us ultimate flexibility when we plan our routes and enjoy our van all over the country and abroad. It also means we're using a little less gas for brewing up and making toast, but also we're spending a little less money because now more and more we get into campsites where the electric hookup's metered, and it could be 50 pence per kilowatt hour, could be as low as 27, but it's costly. Or the addition of electric hookup on your pitch can be out from £2 to £12. So again, a big cost that we are saving. It also means, being a tight Lancashire lad, that we're using all of the battery that we've paid for. So we bought a 230 amp hour leisure battery and we get down to 20% regular away. But yet I read on Facebooks and Instabants, people doing big installs, and then they'll use the comment, our battery's never been below 90% since we did that, relating to an expensive upgrade. But surely that means they've upgraded too much or the battery's too big. I don't know. Be interested to see your thoughts on that. But we are utilising our system to the max and there's still a bit of capacity to grow into. In saying that, our system is perfect for us, but it might not be perfect for you. So don't do what we are doing. Do your own thing. I say that all the time because people copy us. I don't know what. I'm just telling you what I've done, why I've done it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way of doing it. On average, we use 30 to 40 amp hours of electricity a day. That use has gone up since we fitted the inverter, and that's the whole point, because we now boil the kettle, use a hairdryer, use a toaster, and use the van as if we were at home. So that means we can last 4 or 5 days without driving, without electric hookup, and in winter without solar, and longer periods of time through summer where we do have a little bit of the sun's energy. The downside to that system when you've been off grid for 3, 4 or 5 days is having such a big battery takes a lot of charging up. In the absence of solar power, we need to drive, but you would have to do a lot of miles with a 30 amp Victron charger to put 200 plus amps back into your battery. And all those things cost. You might not want to go on a campsite and are only going for the electricity. If you get there, they might charge you for the electricity. If you go home and plug into your own hookup at home, you're paying for that electricity. And even if you drive, indirectly, you're paying for that by putting miles on your van and filling it up with diesel just to put charge in your battery. Or some people sit on a site or on a pitch with the engine running for ages, charging the batteries up, burning diesel and probably doing no end of harm to your DPF.
And annoying everybody on the rest of the campsite.
So what's the solution? Well, we looked at adding extra solar and decided, what's the point? The solar we've got when it's sunny is really good. But in winter, when there is no solar or not much solar, double not a lot is still really not a lot. So we rule that out. We could just get an extra battery, but that's extra weight, an extra footprint or space taken up by the size of it. And of course, it would increase our number of days off grid, but leave us a bigger hole of electricity to fill and store. So it keeps the same issue. So we've gone for an extra DC to DC charger. Our current DC to DC charger is a 30 amp Victron unit, and they're very good quality and work very well. They are known for getting warm and then throttling back, i.e. reducing the amount of charge. And I guess if you were trying to put hundreds of amps of electricity back into your battery by driving, it would be asked to work at full capacity for extended periods of time. So I don't think we'd get the full 30 amp. Now, interestingly or not, our van, and this is our van, yours might be wired differently, but our fridge takes its power when we're driving from the battery. The DC to DC charger then charges the battery. And our fridge draws 10 or 12 amps an hour. So immediately from the available 30 amps, as soon as we have our fridge on, we're only going to get 18. And then if it was to throttle back because it was working hard, we might only get 15. So suddenly, to get hundreds of amps back into the battery, we'd have to drive to Spain to do it. So adding an extra DC to DC charger is going to help that. So we had a little trip to Rhino Installs in Preston and spoke to Phil, and Phil, who's done the most recent work on the van, fitted us a Victron XS50. That's a new model DC to DC charger. It charges at 50 amps. It is very small. It's probably half the size of the 30 amp charger. It's better cooling, so it doesn't throttle back. So all round it's a better unit. And we get the full 50 amps per hour of charge from that unit, added to the 30 amp charger minus what the fridge draws and any throttling back through temperature. The cost of that has been £525 fitted, but I think well worth it. So in 1 hour of driving, we're putting back into the battery maybe 20% of its capacity. And given that we use about 20% per day, we can get by on a short drive. We could also get by on a lot less. We could drive for half hour, put 10% of battery back in, and we'd still be okay. We'd just minimise our use of electricity for things like kettle, toaster, and move back onto gas. So we've given ourselves really mega flexibility for managing the resources that we have at hand. Please note, before you go steaming in and buying stuff and connecting them and wiring them in, make sure that your alternator is capable of the extra load. So speak to someone who knows what they're doing. Don't listen to someone like me on Facebook or Instabants. Now, I rung our Peugeot dealer. Our van's on a Peugeot Boxer chassis. It's a 2022 van, and he confirmed that our alternator is a Mitsubishi Class 18 180 amp alternator. And depending what you read, people will say that you need to allow 50 to 60% of your alternator's capacity to run your vehicle systems, like your aircon, your lights, your radio, your USBs in the front. So when you're driving, power from your alternator is prioritizing all your vehicle systems first. So with a 180 amp alternator, us running a total max of 80 amps is well within that 50 or 60% capacity. Please also bear in mind that if you have a 2022 Peugeot Boxer van, doesn't mean you've got the same alternator as me. So please check. I can't say that enough, because I don't want people driving that M6 in a raging inferno fireball because they watch this vlog. Because not all vans of the same year have got the same alternator. Some of them have got a Mitsubishi Class 12, which is only a 120 amp alternator, and therefore 80 of 120 is greater than 50 or 60%, so be warned. Now, given that I was already getting an expert technician to put cable between the two batteries on our vehicle, I took the opportunity to do a sneaky little extra super mini upgrade. So I also had fitted a battery master. Now, a lot of people charge the vehicle battery through a dual channel solar controller. Our Victron solar controller is single channel, so I've no way of trickle charging the vehicle battery. Over winter last year, monitoring our vehicle battery, I noticed over periods of time where we didn't drive and the temperature was like -7 for days and days on end, I could see a slight voltage drop on the vehicle battery. And not wanting to come to it and have a lazy start, who misses, or a flat battery to start, this battery master should alleviate any risk of that. It's basically a voltage sensitive relay, and it puts excess volts from our hab battery into the vehicle battery. So it's a bit like a DC to DC, but in reverse. So it keeps our vehicle battery topped up to the 12.9 or above, and it uses excess charge in our habitation battery to do that. So even in winter, we'll be getting a little bit of solar. It will be topping the battery up and sending energy to the vehicle battery as well. So hopefully, if we stay somewhere sub-zero for long periods of time, we should always be able to start the engine and drive away and charge all the systems up. And that was £170. So I guess the point of this vlog is to say, we've spent quite a lot of money. Are we getting value for money? Was it worth it? And it's a resounding yes. We love being off grid, but more than that, we love being where we want to be for as long as we want to be. And that might be a campsite with electric hookup. It might be a dodgy car park, but we can decide on where we want to be and not really be influenced by electricity. So yes, I think it's been a brilliant upgrade. When we start the engine and we go on a drive, you can see on the battery monitoring systems that we are getting the full 80 amps. It means that if we go into a campsite, an electric hookup is an extra charge or metered, we can choose to take that or not take that, knowing what our plans are going to be for driving over the following few days, and actually knowing that driving charges the battery faster than electric hookup. And with the addition of the battery master, it means that in all weathers, temperatures, climates, etc., if we're parked up and not moving for a few days, no worries about whether the engine will start. Well, that's that. It's a nice little short vlog. It's a bit stale because, you know, we're talking about amp hours and volts and stuff. It's a bit boring, but it's useful for people who are thinking of upgrading the van, changing their electrical systems. My advice is to give some real thought to your use. Otherwise, you could be paying for upgrades that you're never going to use, or not upgrading enough, but very few people do that. It's usually overkill. We're back off on our travels, as we always are, around the northwest and Scotland. If you see us out and about, come and say hello. We're also going to Vans in the Valley, which is like a festival-y type thing, and that is in July. So look out for us there. Come and say hello. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for making me famous. Thanks for making me a gazillionaire. And thanks for having the bants.
And your wife is involved as well.
She's obviously back from supermarket.
Rude.
The demonstrate. Just leave it roll.
Yeah.
Right.
You're looking there, are you?
Yeah. I'm looking nowhere. I haven't got my glasses on. Just stop it there, because that's. We've extensively. This is just so shite. What am I doing? Look at our all those upgrades enable us. Chalk.
I'll tell you what, just hang on a minute.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This bit is not like a light, so I know you're recording.
I'll just tell you, love.
Yeah. All those upgrades enable us to be off grid for longer. That's it.
It's still where we want to be in.
And it's wobbling with wind. Hang on, leave it running, leave it running. So in 1 hour of use, nope. Already? My advice is give some real thought to your use. I don't know if I'm waffling now.